So what is the ISSA? I imagine the ISSA stands for a lot of things, but in our case, it stands for the International Scissor Sharpeners Association. Why should you care what it's about? Well, it's a organization that you can be a member of if you're a sharpener. And it's a one-time membership. You have it for a lifetime, and you have a really cool ID card. And you can hang your certificate up on your bulletin board and say that you're a member. If you want to be certified, which is what this person did, that's important to understand whether you're a hairstylist or a groomer or you're a sharpener. Those who have gone through the ISSA certification, it's totally subjective. I look at their shears, I see if they cut, if they'll cut hair. I'll see if the convex is convex, if the bevel's a bevel, and if they're actually sharp. And it's just basic sharpening that will be suitable for most hairstylists and most groomers. It doesn't get into anything advanced, and you can feel assured this person should be able to improve your shears and make them cut and understand the difference between a convex edge and a bevel. So let you see the difference between the two, and then we're going to look at the sharpening. So this is anonymous as far as you're concerned, but this is number 312909, and we give a written test, which if you look around on my various videos, I actually give you the answers to these. The idea is I don't want people to fail. I want people to pass. I want them to understand enough how to sharpen shears, whether I trained them or they're using my equipment or someone else's. I would like the hairstylists and groomers to get a good sharpening for their shears. So this is why we did this. But this is their number. They passed the written test. And we're going to look at their shears. One's a convex and one's a bevel. So the beveled edge means it is, and he's taped this closed, which is probably a really good idea. The beveled edge means it is a flat. Let me get this undone. There we go, I'm free. Okay, a beveled edge is going to be a flat type of angle, flat type of edge. And you'll see this usually in lower price shears, although some expensive shears have this type of edge. But it's your common German style edge that you're going to see. Since, I guess, the 1960s, or it was just maybe 10 years or so earlier than when I started sharpening, we started seeing the convex edge come out of Japan, and now it's all over. The convex edge, the edge sort of disappears to nothing. Once again, this is tangled up on purpose, I'm sure. The edge is tapered and like a clamshell shape until nothing, and it's usually a sharper, thinner, more an easier cut. So it's been the preferred edge by most of the stylists, barbers, and groomers in recent years, although we still see a lot of beveled edges. And I need to make sure you know the difference and can sharpen both. So my first thing is I see if they cut. And strangely enough, the best thing we found to test them on is toilet tissue. Now, this isn't your normal everyday toilet tissue. This would be the kind of toilet tissue like you would get maybe at the airport or a really cheap hotel. They're really, really thin stuff. And I'm going to see if it cuts dry first. So I'm lifting my thumb out, and it cuts dry. I'm thinking that's going to be a little loose. That's going to affect the cut, but we'll find out. And then this one, and it cuts dry. Now we're going to try it wet. Wet is a better test. Now what this tells me is if all the burrs and the nicks are gone. It doesn't necessarily tell me how sharp they are. And I did put, when we send these over, we put some nicks in them. It's significant nicks, but it's not anything that you wouldn't see in normal everyday life. Okay, cutting with the beveled edge, wet tissue, that cuts good. If it hadn't cut the wet tissue, we still might pass the beveled edge because it's not, it's a little bit Now see, it's not cutting wet tissue. And that's going to be almost entirely because the screw's loose. But first I want to check it on hair, check it like it is, and we're going to go through the rest of this. So I get some hair with my thumb out, I'm closing it, and it's not pushing it, cut nice. I'm also going to slide through the hair to make sure that the shears are sharp. If they weren't sharp, it would pull it out at its root. So these are sharp, they cut. The only thing left is if they're truly a convex or not. And I'm not happy with the way it cut the wet tissue. These, we're just looking to see if they cut hair. And they do. They chop without any push. That's good. So I'm looking at these really, really close. And what I'm seeing, I'm going to let you zoom in here. It's kind of he's got like a little bevel right here on the tip. And it's kind of bevelly looking here. It looks more beveled than convex. I'm going to zoom in. Now these came to them as a semi-convex. So you have to go and create a convex to it. I'm going to zoom in here. Can you see how the light plays on that edge? There is like a slight bevel there. But this one, can you see that shiny thing at the tip? It's like a little bevel that goes off there. They didn't cut wet. I'm going to see if they cut wet if I tighten the screw. So here's my wet tissue. The screw, you see it's here? If I open it all the way up and wiggle it, see it flops all the way down. Or the easiest thing to correct on a shear is going to be the tension screw. And I'm going to give it a click, still too loose. One more click, getting there. One more click, that's pretty close. I'm going to do it one click more. That's where I would leave it. And then at this point, I'm going to open it up and I'm wiggling, because there's washers and there's pieces here, and you see how it loosened up. But it's still good. So let's see how it cuts wet now that I've tightened it. See, perfect, perfect. See, it pulls at the tip. Did you see that? Yeah, and that's where that tip, we saw that thing going on the tip. Yeah. See, it's pulling the wet tissue. Because this shear had more than one problem, it didn't look real convexy. It did pull at the tip with the wet tissue, and it didn't cut the wet tissue at all until I made the adjustments and changed the screw. I'm going to say the beveled edge passed, but the convex edge did not pass, but it's super, super close. And I would be delighted to send it back and have him resharpen it. And after watching this video, I have no doubt he's going to do really well and it'll pass. But it's close. It's close. If I was back teaching school, I'd probably say, why don't you do a little extra credit and see if we can get this up to passing. Do a couple of extra homework pages. But they're close. I'm hoping he'll want me to send him back to try again. Do you think you could pass? Go to our website, Bonika.com, and just put ISSA in the little search box, and you'll find the link to the ISSA certification. Even if you don't pass, this person is a member for life, and I hope he can become a certified member. Good luck. I shouldn't say that. Not good luck. Good skill.